Hello, so welcome to another video. So this is the middle of the month video for you. So this one is going to be about going from inspiration days out, photography, and then to the final product that you produce. So I'm going to show you step by step of how I do it. So basically, usually when you're not in lockdown, you can go out and about and do different stuff as normal. So most of my photography that I took were from obviously not last year, year before, or previous years for that. So I used to go once a week or once every other week or just once a month, depending on what work I was doing at the time. So sometimes I would go to, for example, Kew Gardens or Whitstable to the beach, the Cotswolds on holiday, days up London to the Tate and places like that, or even just to the local park, sometimes like the garden centre or an RHS place, somewhere like that. And I just take photography of flowers, animals, so like ducks or sheep, or I've got a cat, friends' cats or dogs, that sort of thing, and just take photography. I'm not, a professional photographer or anything like that, so it's just like basic photography. So for example, here's a picture of a hydrangea head there. So as I say, it's not like anything special. So I had an idea of wanting to create a pattern that sort of said summer. Basically, when you looked at it, you felt like all warm, it inspired you to be outside, you felt all like summery and happy. So I went out and just took some pictures of some hydrangeas, some more hydrangeas here, this lovely blue one, and then I've got this purple one. And then a friend of mine took this picture. She had these flowers and there's a bumblebee in there. Yeah. So basically these photographs then became my inspiration. So I wanted to create something with a hydrangea in it and a bee or a wasp or something like that. Some sort of insect that said summer. So most insects that say summer to me are bees. Bees on flowers, basically. So then I just took references from these photos and sketched a hydrangea. So this was my version of a hydrangea. So I decided to use all the different colours. So we've got the blue one there, we've got a purple one, and I decided to add some pinks because I like pink. And I just looked, luckily enough, my mum has some hydrangeas and I had a hydrangea at the time, so I could look at the leaves to see what type of leaf they were as well. So I did that. This is done in watercolours. I usually work in watercolours, sometimes I mix it with coloured pencils or watercolour pencils, and I have moved on to gouache painting and digital art as well now. And then I did a bee, but I think it looks a little bit waspy. I think it's between a bee and a wasp. It's my own insect, I made it up basically. So yeah, I painted this again in watercolours, and I did this when I was on holiday in the Cotswolds. So I did that. They're all put on watercolour paper. So then from that, so what I do with these is I scan these into my computer, and then I put them through to Photoshop, and then I erase the background, so you end up with a PSD file of just the element, the motif that you want. So it was just the bee and just the hydrangea, so all this white background is gone and it becomes clear, and you can kind of move these around. So then I made it into then I took the PSD files into Illustrator and laid them up into a repeat pattern. So the pattern that I came up with was this one. So basically it's just the hydrangea leaf, the hydrangea flower, and then the little bee, and I just did it an all over random pattern. Sometimes I added two of the hydrangeas together to create like a little bunch, and sometimes I made the motif bigger or smaller. And the same with the little bee as well. I think you can see the bee there. There we go. And then in the background, to give it a little bit more texture so it didn't look as plain, I've added like a lacy detail in the background. So it's done with like a cream white outline, and then I just doodled on Illustrator with my wacom board, and I just doodled some sort of like lines and that to make it look lacy, and then I just made that into the repeat as well. So you can't really see too much on the material here. You might be able to, but you'll be able to see it more when it's in product form. So once I've created this tile as the repeat pattern, I then send it off to one of my fabric shops, so Fashion Formula or Spoonflower, and I get a sample of it. So this is that sample. So this is just on cotton, 100% cotton, just so I can see what it will look like in fabric form, what it will look like repeated, what it would look like maybe on wrapping paper, anything sort of like flat. You can then think like, well, that could make, you know, a nice top, or is it more for interiors? Would it look nice on a cushion? Is it more for children's wear or baby wear? Would it look nice on like a baby grow? Or would it look nice as a greetings card background with some, you know, writing on it, that sort of thing. So then you need to think about what a customer would buy this pattern on. So to me this is quite a sort of, I would say probably quite a classic pattern. It's not very like new high fashion, but it's not like oldie, that sort of thing. It's quite a classic thing because it's like a hydrangea and a bee. It's quite classic. I mean, if this was on like a jersey t-shirt, I would wear it with a pair of jeans and trainers. If I had a conservatory, this would look nice with cushions on it, or like a summer house, you know, that sort of thing. So that's what you need to think in your mind, what it would look good on. I mean, this would look really cute like on a baby grow or some muslins. So it isn't just, I mean, even like a man's short sleeve shirt for the summer. If there's a man that likes that sort of quiet Hawaiian look, you know, or a nice pair of swim shorts for a man, this would look nice on. So you need to think in your mind what it would look nice on. So I decided to go obviously for a stationery gift wrapping range because that's what I do, that's what I like doing. So I made it into some wrapping paper first off. So I just kept the design as it was and then got it made into wrapping paper. And this is a full sheet of wrapping paper. I'll show you the size. So it's an A2 size, which is like a normal size wrapping paper. So usually you can get one big present out of that or a couple of small ones. And here you can actually see the lacy background much better, but I'm not sure if you can on camera, but I don't know if you can. I think you can there. Yeah. So that's what it looks like as wrapping paper. I then obviously decided to make it into a card as well. So I used the background. Here's the background here. And then I did some font writing in watercolour, in a watercolour style, which you can find on Illustrator, and just wrote the word happy, because to me I wanted like a summery pattern, so that's why I chose the yellow for the background, because it was really nice and summery. It makes it quite vibrant and quite eye-catching. And I wanted to use watercolour, like a watercolour font, because I wanted it slightly see-through so you can still see the pattern in the background, and I wanted it to have that nice like flowy, summery, watery feel about it. So that's that one. So that's made into a proper card. It's got all my details on the back and it's just blank for your own message. And then I made it into this style of card, which is just using the hydrangea here in a bunch with a couple of bees and then I put Be Happy here in a font, and I chose the bee colours, so I chose like a orangey yellow with a black outline, and then put a little bee on the second bee there, just to tie it in together. And again, that's a proper card made. I had this manufactured. This was made again blank for your own message. And these look really nice as it's like a little collection with the wrapping paper, so it all ties in together. And I've also got a gift tag as well, which I use, so that's kind of nice. And then I did a third card because I wanted something for like birthdays and stuff like that. So I did a slightly different style. I didn't use the pattern this time, but I used the colours into a stripe, and then I used the bee, and then I put a simple happy birthday on there and did that. So you can see that there. Changed the image sizes of the bees, so some are small and some are large, and changed the way that they're flying, so it gives it a movement as well. And again, that was manufactured properly and blank for your own message. So there was a nice little collection here. This was like my summer collection. So this is a little collection of summer cards. And then this is what it would look like with the wrapping paper and when it's wrapped up. So this is like how it would look. And these are all done on FFC credited paper, all recycled and can be recycled. And they're all, they don't have any gloss on them. They're all like natural feel to them. And the same with the cards as well. They're all pH neutral. So that's nice. And then I also had it made into a little badge because bees are quite endangered at the moment, and a lot of people talk about bees and gardeners talk about bees and how important they are for the environment and all of that. So I decided to do a little badge, and I called it a British bee badge. But I just used the same design and made it into a badge, and then just did a little backing board to complement it. You can see that there. Good. So that's kind of really, in simple terms, how I go out on days out, come up with or take photography of things, and then come back and turn them into actual physical products. This is another sample of the stripy card that I did. So that's the cotton fabric. So I called this bee stripe. Again there. So I mean, this would be nice as like deck chair covers if you lived near the sea. So yeah, so that's that whole bee and hydrangea collection. And then I just wanted to show you that I don't also do watercolour. I also do photography patterns. So when I went to Kew Gardens, I went to a orchid festival, which was a good few years ago in February. It was really cold, but I went for the day and took tons and tons of photos of orchids. Like I took them on my phone, and my phone was just literally full of them. This one in particular was my favourite. I think I caught it quite well. You can see all of the lovely detail in there. Again, you know, I didn't have, I don't think it's even the phone that I've got now, the iPhone 7, I think it was the one before that. And just took it, you know, it wasn't done on a macro camera or anything like that. So I really like this one. But I didn't really want to, I've painted some orchids since, on watercolours and different gouache and all that. But I wanted to use this as a photograph to see if I could do it. So what I decided to do is scan this into Photoshop, erase the background, so I just had the image of the orchid, and then I decided to layer that into Illustrator and see how that would turn out, a different way of sort of doing it. So then I come up with this design, which was just a simple stripe using the orchid as if it was in like sort of branches coming down. So I just did that, kept them all the same size and just did that. And I chose like an ochre colour background. I wanted the sort of pattern collection, because I made it into a collection this time, I wanted it to be quite natural, and I used the actual colours out of the orchids. So I used this yellowy colour, so I colour picked it in Illustrator and used that colour, so it's a nice ochre colour. And then I went on to create this pattern design. So again, it's using the orchid here, and then there you can see there's a slightly different orchids which I also took as a photograph and then made it into this design. And I also took some pictures of the orchid leaves as well and then put them in the background. Did them as a separate PSD file, so I did the three things separate, the two orchids and the leaves separate as PSD files, and then laid them together. And then I sent off for this sample. This isn't in cotton this time, this is in, oh it is it's a cotton mix, an Avio cotton mix, this one. So it's not 100% cotton. It's more flimsy and you can see through it as well, this one. I don't know if you can see my hand, no you can't. No. So that was that, and then this is the collection that I made. So this is my portfolio book of patterns. So as you can see here, that's this one that I've just shown you on the fabric. And that's the stripy orchid one. And then I made one which was just orchids, and then one which was just leaves. And I called the collection Q, because obviously I got the inspiration from the Orchid Festival at Kew Gardens. So I'll give you a close-up of some of those. Hopefully you can see that. So that's in my Surface Pattern portfolio book. And then obviously since then, a few people, I've put all the patterns onto Fashion Formula, so people can buy the fabric of these. And this one. And then I decided to make this year like a New Year and Valentine's collection. I decided to make a orchid collection. So I chose a lovely rich pink, fuchsia pink colour, and then I got a sample of the fabric and I decided to get it on velvet this time. So then we've got this. So it's the same stripe, I just changed the background colour, so I didn't have to do a whole new pattern or anything, and it's in this velvet, so it's got like a shimmer sheen to it. You can see the texture as well. And then I made this into wrapping paper as well. So then that's how that turned out. So a nice, really vibrant, and this is quite like a modern pattern. It's quite a contemporary pattern. It's quite vibrant, it's quite bold this time. So again, you need to think about, you know, what it would look good on. I mean, this would look, I think would look lovely on like a bikini, because it's got that tropical feel about it, like a lovely bikini, or like parasols for the garden. It would look lovely on, you know, if you've got an outdoor sofa, if you had that coverage on the cushions, that would look really nice. So yeah, you just have to think about colour. I'm really into like colour therapy and stuff like that, and how colours make you feel. Obviously colours like this are really sunny and happy. You know, these are really sort of like quite warming colours. Greens are nice and fresh. And then these are like really nice and vibrant, tropical. So yeah, so that is how literally I work. So I go out, inspiration days out, or just if I'm on holiday or at the park or anything, I'm always taking pictures on my phone of different things. As I say, I am more of a spring summer girl, so I do tend to have more inspiration in spring and summer, but I am working on my autumn and winter collections. I had a really good Christmas collection last year, which was my Robin one, and then I had the Autumn Dreaming last autumn, and I've got a good autumn one coming up. and I'm thinking about the designs for Christmas and stuff, so I'm definitely working on that half of the year. But yeah, so I just wanted to show you how I come up with the ideas and then how they become products, and what you need to think about when you're designing patterns and stuff like that, and colour, and you need to think about what they would look good on and then ideally put them on those products. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video, another little short one, and then the April vlog will be out at the end of the month on the 30th of April. Obviously it's a bit more of an exciting one this time because there's lots going on, but yeah, I shall see you again soon. So thanks for watching, please subscribe, it would really help me out, and like this video if you do, or any comments just let me know, and I'll see you soon. So bye for now.